What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the Subaru Rally build. So the build has been going pretty slow. You probably noticed in the last month or so, if you've been following the build, that my uploads haven't been very frequent. That's due to my actual job. I am pretty busy in the real world, so I'm not able to dedicate too much time. There was actually a month that I wasn't able to work on the car. Not that you really saw that, because I kind of staggered the uploads. So right now it's like early November, so I'm finally getting caught up and actually working on the car and uploading videos. So I finally got some free time and I want to work on the car, and I'm going to be plating the strut tower, and I've got some plates for that. Found them. Alright, so these are 1/8 inch plates that I bought from Rally.build. They make a lot of great things for like BMWs, Subarus, and whatnot. Yeah, you can make these. They're not that hard to make. You just got to cut them out around your strut top and figure out exactly how to mount them. So this is a rear one. As you can see, it's got some pretty crazy angles and it fits in there perfectly. That's kind of why I went with them. I think I paid 25 bucks for a set of 2 of them for the front and rear, so like 50 bucks total, free shipping. Pretty good deal, and it saves me the headache of actually having to cut these out, which I don't have anything that can make them this neat, and if I did, it would be a lot more work than they're worth. So kind of nice that they make stuff like that. Anyway, so we're going to be throwing these on the front today. I'm not sure if I'll actually get to the rears. Just kind of want to take care of the front, see if we got time, and then work our way to the actual rears later on. But let's get started on it. Should probably just quit my actual job, just work on this thing full time, right? Because that's what's important. So I pretty much have the surface completely prepped right now. I cleaned up all the edges and whatnot. I really messed up my VIN plate, so hopefully no cop ever wants to inspect this thing. It'll look a little sketchy, but anyway, pretty much good to try to fit the actual plate to it. So this has like some bulges in it that not really going to be able to like flatten out or anything like that. So I'll have to just contour the plate a little bit more to the actual strut tower once I get it tacked in on the sides that it actually can sit flat on, and then kind of just lightly hammer it into place until it kind of takes the shape of the strut tower. So as you can see, this thing's laying on there. It's got pretty good size gap on this edge. The opposite side over here is pretty flush, so I'll be able to get a good tack on there and then kind of massage it into place to get it to actually fit correctly. So now I need to actually prep the plates, and I'm just going to use the same wire wheel, clean up the edges, get some of the mill scale off, and then wipe it down with some acetone. Alright, so it's pretty much all prepped right now, ready to go. I am going to throw these nuts back onto the top of the strut. That way it can kind of hold it in place, and I want to make sure it's actually centered. And then we're just going to tack this side and then persuade this side to actually sit flush. That way I get a good tight fitment before I actually start welding it up. Alright, so I pretty much got the fit up as good as I will. There's pretty much no gap all the way along here. This corner does have a little bit of a gap, but shouldn't be a problem to fill that in. Anyway, just gonna hit it with a few more tacks so it doesn't move around, and then just slowly hit it in a couple inch increments, moving around to keep the heat a little bit lower in centralized areas, and let it cool and keep doing it until it's fully welded. Okay, so it has been a couple days so far. I ran into some trouble right away with my MIG welder. There was a problem with the actual wire spool, but I was having trouble as it would rotate, it would stop spinning. But anyway, got a new thing of wire, and that seemed to fix the problem. But it really made those welds look really bad, and I need all the help that I can get as it is with MIG welding, so that side looks pretty bad. But we're gonna pick it up and move on to the passenger side strut tower now. So we'll start cleaning it up and then get it plated. All right, so the plan with this, same thing, we gotta clean it up and get it ready as best we can for the plate. So there is this one tab for mount that I need to get rid of. So I think it just is a spot weld, but I'll probably just take an angle grinder to it and then smoothen it out. And then I got to get rid of this seam sealer up here and clean it up and get all this surface rust off and whatnot. Then I'll be ready to actually plate. All right, got it cleaned up pretty much as well as I want to. I am going to hit this side with some acid etch. Some of these spot welds were pretty pitted and rusted, as you can see. I got most of the rust off, but just in case it does start up again, I want to hit it with some acid etch, that way it doesn't eat through on the underside of these plates. If the car even lasts that long, as long as I don't wrap it around a tree. All right, I applied the next coat. So while this is sitting, I'm going to begin prepping the plate for this side. That way we can just wipe this up and weld it on. You want to make sure and clean this stuff off before you actually weld too. Zinc is definitely not good to burn, so definitely make sure you wipe this all off with like acetone or something that you can use to remove it all. That's my plan, so I'm just going to wipe it all down with acetone now. Wipe down the plate that we just prepped, and then it'll be good to tack into place and massage it around the molds in the actual strut tower. All right, tacked into place. The fit up's all right. It's not too bad. Some of the areas are kind of bad. Same spot over here where there's a pretty good gap, but not too bad to fill that in. Everything's pretty good. Now I just got to get my welding skills down so I don't make it look like that one, which you'll see in a minute. Okay, both sides are done. As you can see, if this thing focuses, they're not the prettiest welds at all. I don't really mind. It's definitely not a show car by any means. It would have been nice if I was a little better at welding, but just need some practice with like welding thicker stuff to thinner stuff and the weird angles and whatnot. Plus, like back here was extremely hard to get at. So if you're not even that good, out of position MIG welding isn't very easy. I'd rather do TIG because then you can have a little bit more control of how fast the wire speed actually goes and how much filler is added, so you're not just stacking metal. And it's pretty late, so that's probably all I'm going to do tonight. I think tomorrow I'm going to hit these with a coat of primer just so they don't flash rust or anything like that until I can actually go through the entire bay and completely prep it for paint, which will be a long time from now. There's a lot of things to do before. Got to make this thing look nice. Hopefully the welds look a little better with some paint, less like boogers, but I'm sure that still will look bad. Not a big deal though. I mean, as long as they're strong. Definitely need to make sure that I can get my settings right on the welder and there's no issues in the future, like with the wire feeding on the driver's side strut tower. So that definitely made a big difference on that side.